What you are seeing on the screen is an earthquake, which is very devastating. Earthquakes are unpredictable and can cause immense damage to destroy buildings in seconds. While most of us here have seen and heard about the destruction caused by any earthquake, some of us have also experienced one and know how deadly they can be. Now, earthquakes usually take place in seismic prone areas. We think that we are standing on stable grounds, but it is not so. The Earth's surface is made up of 12 tectonic plates that are fit together in a jigsaw puzzle. The land floats continuously on hot molten lava, and it continuously grinds and bumps against each other, causing various tremors. When the force between two tectonic plates is enough, then it causes shock waves that ripples through the ground and ravels everything that stands on it. The most deadly type of earthquake is in the subduction zone, where one tectonic plate is shoved beneath another tectonic plate. So in a subduction zone, one tectonic plate, while is moved downward into the mantle, the other one moves upwards violently. Such an earthquake took place in Nepal in 2015. Now, before we start looking into the earthquake that took place in Nepal in 2015, we need to take a small break and understand where exactly is Nepal located and what led to the occurrence of the earthquake. So we see that a great part of Nepal is covered by the Himalayas. It is often regarded as a Himalayan country. So Nepal, as you see, falls in the Himalayan region and is prone to seismic activities. Now let's see what exactly happened during the earthquake of 2015. To understand that and to see what exactly happened, we need to first take a look at the world map that maps the global seismic hazard areas, which only means that this map helps us to know about the places that are more prone to seismic activities. From the map, it is quite evident that Asia is the hot seat of seismic activities. As you can see, Nepal is marked as a high-risk hazard area. Why so? So Nepal being marked as a high-risk seismic hazard area because it is close to a seismic zone. Seismic zone is a place where earthquake occurs more frequently and the intensity of the earthquake is maximum. So Nepal, that falls in the Himalayan region to the north of India, is a place that is prone to frequent earthquakes that are devastating and deadly in nature. On 25th April 2015, Nepal experienced a massive earthquake. And this was a shallow tremor earthquake that was felt at a depth of 20 kilometers. This is because of Nepal's location. Location of Nepal is at a very famous Mediterranean Himalayan seismic belt. Now this region lies at the boundary of the Eurasian and Indian plate. Indian plate is believed to be sinking beneath the Eurasian plate, creating a subduction zone. Media sources say that the earthquake of 2015 killed around 9,000 people, injured other 1,000 people, and also led to the destruction of various buildings and infrastructures in Nepal. It is said that the waves were felt even in India, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and parts of Tibetan Plateau. On the main day, that is 25th April, a magnitude of 7.8 was felt, and there were 2 large aftershocks in the same day. Then for several days, several consequent earthquakes were felt, that is aftershocks that were of smaller magnitude. This earthquake also tremored a lot of landslides, particularly in the Mount Everest region. Around 18 climbers died because of the landslide, and there were hundreds of mountaineers in the base camp of Mount Everest that were majorly injured. This devastating earthquake that killed around 9,000 people had a lot of aftermath and consequences that had to be dealt with. So, after the earthquake, Nepalese government declared a state emergency, and the Nepalese army soon came to rescue the people of Nepal and also helped in their recovery. So, right after the quake, the Nepalese government declared a state emergency and the Nepalese army was deployed for assistance in rescue and recovery work. So you can see in these two pictures how the Nepalese army was working hard for the rescue and recovery of the people of Nepal that were severely hit by the earthquake of 2015. India, being the immediate neighbor of Nepal, was the first one to respond to the 2015 earthquake. So Operation Maitri was a rescue and relief operation launched by the Government of India and the Indian Armed Forces following the 2015 earthquake. So we see that India, being the immediate neighbor, did not hold back and instantly stood up to back up the damages incurred by the Nepalese government and the people of Nepal. So Operation Maitri, launched by the Government of India, was a rescue and relief operation after the 2015 earthquake. Besides India, there were many other international help and support that came to take care of the damages that took place in Nepal. So, international aid and rescue forces, including the International Federation of Red Cross, were provided to Nepal. So, before we proceed with our lesson, could you help me answer this simple question? Which of the following governments launched the rescue and relief operation called Operation Maitri? Was it the government of Bangladesh, the government of Nepal, or the government of India? Yes, the correct answer is the government of India. So India, being the immediate neighbor of Nepal, did not hold back, and government of India launched a rescue and relief operation called Operation Maitri to help its neighboring country. Now, though there were immediate help from the neighboring countries and international authorities, there was a delay in providing rescue and relief to the people of Nepal. This is because of certain reasons. So, the reasons hampering the speedy delivery of relief services included the earthquake debris that blocked the roads. So there were many roads that led to remote villages, but those roads were blocked by the earthquake debris, making it difficult for the vehicles or the rescue team to cross these debris and provide immediate help to the people. Other reason included the remoteness of the villages. Now the remoteness of the villages was another reason, was delayed and speedy delivery was not provided. The last reason was the shortage of heavy trucks, helicopters and other vehicles that were capable of providing water and food in large quantities. So the shortage of these important vehicles further delayed the process of speedy recovery. Now, as I mentioned a little earlier, two intense and large aftershocks of 6.6 and 6.7 magnitude was felt on the same day of the main quake, that is 25th April 2015. Now these two large aftershocks on the same day led to many deaths and injured thousands of people in Nepal. We can see how devastating and destructive the earthquake of 2015 was, not only because of the main shock of 7.8 magnitude, but also of two other large and intense aftershocks that were felt on the same day. So here we have a graphical representation of the earthquake that took place on 25th April 2015 and then the aftershocks that were felt for several days from the main day. We can see that on 25th April, an earthquake of 7.8 magnitude was felt. Now right after that, on the same day, we had two other intense aftershocks of 6.6 and 6.7 magnitude. Now we see that while the country was already struggling and was in a shock by the 7.8 magnitude earthquake, the nature was not merciful enough but led to another two intense magnitudes, thus making the situations more critical and destructive. Other than that, for several other days, that is on 2nd June, 9th June and 16 June, there were many small to large aftershocks that were felt, and this led to further damage, thus delaying the process of recovery. Now here is a map that will help us understand where exactly the earthquake took place. So right around the central portion, we see that an earthquake of magnitude 7.8 was felt. And right after that, there were two large aftershocks that were felt in the area around the main earthquake. So these led to the destruction of a large area, causing immense loss of life and property. So the destructive earthquake struck a large part of central Nepal and heavily impacted the tourism business and the livelihoods based on the same. We all know that Nepal is a beautiful country that has a lot to offer, be it its cuisine, the different types of geographical features that we see on the country, and also the number of tourist destinations that we see here. It is indeed one of the most favorite places of tourists, trekkers and climbers from across the globe. So after such a devastating earthquake in 2015, the tourism industry was heavily impacted, and the people who draw their income or take tourism industry as a source of income were also negatively impacted, incurring huge economic loss. Now here we have a simple graphical representation through a bar chart that tells us the negative impact of 2015 earthquake on Nepal's tourism industry. So we see that the number of people who visited Nepal before 2015 earthquake was this. So from the chart we can see that while the tourism industry was positively flourishing in 2012, 13 and 14 with around 8 lakh tourist arrivals. In 2015, there was a major drop in the number of tourist arrivals. That is from 80,000 tourist arrivals, that is from 8 lakh tourist arrivals, it went down to 5 lakhs. So the tourism industry was definitely heavily impacted by the 2015 earthquake. However, over the years, after recovery took place and there was relief provided to the people of Nepal, they got back to their game of tourism, and now they are eventually flourishing again in the tourism industry. Now, if you remember from the previous map that we saw, where we marked or pointed out the place where the earthquake of 7.8 magnitude was felt, you must have seen that the earthquake took place somewhere around Kathmandu. So, Kathmandu nearest to the epicenter of the earthquake of 7.8 magnitude. Now, among all the places in Nepal, Kathmandu is a hotspot of tourist destinations. It is a home to a number of architectures that have been recognized by the UNESCO, and under this we also have the very famous and beautiful architecture of the 9-story Dharahara Tower. So here is a picture that tells us or shows us how beautiful the monument, the historic 9-story tower was before the earthquake of 2015. But right after the earthquake, the devastation was immense, and we see that it was destroyed to this condition. So the earthquake of 2015 led to the collapsing of a lot of monuments and architectures, including some of those architectures that were recognized as UNESCO World Heritage Site. The destruction was so massive and immense that even today, Nepal is recovering from the consequences of that disaster. We see that even after half a decade past the massive earthquake, there is recovery work going on in Nepal. A very classic example of the same is of the Darbar Square. Darbar Square is a place that consists of a beautiful temple. Now, before the earthquake, this is how it looked like. After so many years from the earthquake, we still see that the process of renovation and recovery of the temple is still in progress. So we see that Nepal definitely is not completely out of the consequences or the aftermath of that destructive and massive earthquake. So we understood that any disaster that hits a particular place can have long-lasting negative impact. Besides taking away or causing huge damage to life and property, it also causes a big drop in economy, and that takes a lot for the government to come back in form or to recover from the losses. In this lesson, we took a detailed view of the earthquake that took place on 25th April in Nepal. We saw how Nepal, being an earthquake-prone area, experiences frequent earthquakes, and one of those devastating ones was that of 2015. We saw the consequences and the aftermath of the earthquake and saw that even today it is recovering from the losses that it incurred during the earthquake. In our next lesson, we'll be taking a look at another case study where we will focus and understand the big spill that took place in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com or download the DeltaStep app to learn one-to-one with our amazing teachers or to get access to all our 5,000 plus amazing videos as per your school syllabus. Master each topic with our adaptive practice technology. Get million plus questions with step-by-step solutions and unlimited mock test. Get all your doubts resolved instantly. Learn via games and win amazing prizes like PlayStations and iPads. So at DeltaStep, learning is not just fun and easy, it is rewarding too. So register for free now.